Hey, haven't you been wanting to start a podcast?
Yeah, but doesn't it take a lot to make one?
Well, let me tell you about Anchor. It's free, and it's the easiest way to make a podcast. On top of that, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Oh, that sounds amazing. But doesn't it take a lot of work to put my podcast on different platforms?
Actually, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more.
That sounds fantastic.
On top of that, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
So where do I get started?
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
And welcome back to another episode of the Convoluted podcast. It's your host Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here to bring you another episode. I'm here with Liz.
Hey.
And we have a special guest host today. We have James.
Hey guys, hope you're all doing well.
And if it's your first time listening, we would like for you to follow or unsubscribe. It's free. You can always unfollow it and unsubscribe. We're gonna jump into the episode. Before that, so James is gonna be a guest host here, but he's gonna become a member of the rotating cast of Reaction Cast. So if anyone knows or is subscribed already over there, you'll be hearing more of James on that show as we discuss films and TV shows. We already are gathering our own Justice League of movie discussers. And so, yeah, look forward to more of James' voice if you would like. But yeah, how's everyone's day been? Or how's everyone's week been? James, you're our guest. How's everything been?
Thanks for letting me start off there. So week's not been too bad. Been currently looking for a new job. It's been going well. Just been recently hired for a media company, which is exciting news. Start at the end of the month.
Nice.
Congrats.
In terms of the weekend goes, I went out on Thursday night to celebrate. Got a little bit drunk, but it's all part of the celebration.
That's warranted. That's warranted for having a new job.
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
All right. That's good. Congrats on the new job.
Thank you.
Liz, I know you've been aiming to let us know how you've been.
Miserable. I blew out my left eardrum. I don't know how the fuck I did that. All I know is I was driving, I had pressure in my ear, and the next thing I know, it's boiling and pop at night. Yay.
Was you driving with like the window down or something?
No.
No?
I had the windows up. I was going through, because of the elevation in one of our freeways, it gets a little higher.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was coming down off of it. So I was, okay, fine. You know, like here, you get a little pressure, right? Like you were going down on an airplane, right? And I was like, I'm due for Sudafed. I've been dealing with a little bit of a cold. So I was thinking, I'm probably due for Sudafed. I'll go home. I'll take the Sudafed. And it just kind of kept getting there. And I was like, okay, I'll put some warm compresses. It seemed to get worse and worse and worse. And then finally at night, it started popping. It just like did this like, you know, like popcorn, just and then.
Oh, God. I did not like that sound.
I was like, I was just sitting there like, what the fuck?
Not a single thought was given this day.
Do you know what the worst thing about like the whole experience of being ill in America, from what I've read from a British perspective, is your guys' medication prices?
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, I have really good insurance, thankfully, because I do work in a hospital, so that gives me a little bit of a benefit. Mm-hmm. So I was able to get my medication like 20 minutes after I walked out of urgent care. I was like, hey, boss man, Had to come this way.
She works for them.
On that front, I saw on the news recently. Apparently, do you know the entrepreneur Mark Cuban?
No.
Yes, I heard about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I've been watching that a little
Shark
bit.
Tank. Yeah, he's created a new pharmacy brand where it's like cheaper medication for Americans, and he works directly with the manufacturers to bring like lower prices for medication for people in the US.
Yes.
Which is brilliant because people have been hammering for that for years.
God, how long? Yeah.
I know. I mean, it's if you're not a 20 plus years at this point, and you have to tell them, like, so your fixed income, this is what your medication is.
I wish the audience could see my face though. It's quite a spicy look, just going.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. I was like, your eyes blew up. I was like, ooh. Yep.
It's bad. Yeah. We've spoken about it multiple times, but it's always interesting to get another person's perspective, mostly from someone from a different part of the world.
Yeah. Well, I hope obviously the new campaign Mark Cuban's going on to lower the medication price in the US.
I'm hoping that will help.
It's very successful. Yeah. I'm not sure obviously what retailers, what stores are going into, or if it's just like an online pharmacy, but hopefully that works out very well for you guys. It'll just bring that cost of living down quite a lot.
Yeah,
exactly.
We're all living to die.
Talking about cost of living, actually, this is interesting. This is a good way to transition into some of the kind of the news source, and I'll kind of skip talking about myself this week. It doesn't really change much. I've just been busy answering emails and gathering the new team, basically, getting guests and stuff like that. So that's kind of been my week. That's kind of a summary. Besides that, if you want to follow me, everything is on Instagram. There's posts of me eating out from last night. Good ribs. Finally, I can actually go eat out. Besides that,
where did you go?
There's a place called Famous Dave's out in Tualatin. It's really good.
My neck of the woods. You didn't say anything, bitch.
It was random. It was just random time. They said like, "Hey, do you guys want to go eat?" Like, sure. And then best sure ever, because fuck, that food was delicious, and I was not able to finish. Like I did everything. They brought almost a pound and a half of meat. I could not finish that shit. It's good though. That just means lunch for today. So
yeah, leftovers. I love when you go out to eat and the portion sizes are so unexpectedly large that you've got enough for lunch tomorrow. It's brilliant. I love it.
Even better when it's go for it.
Yeah. Talking about eating out to new places. Do you guys have Wagamamas in America?
We have what?
Wagamamas.
No.
What is that?
It's a sort of like Asian restaurant. Tried it for the first time. It was mind-blowing. It was delicious.
It's ramen? Are you talking ramen?
They've got ramen, katsu curry. It's like more of like an Asian instead of just like Korea or China or Japan.
Am I saying this right? Is it Wagamama?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Okay, let me see here. Is there anything near us? There is some in the U.S. apparently. Are there any near us?
Probably not on the West Coast.
We'll find out.
You guys got In-N-Out Burger, so.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for the one to put them right here in my town.
That's the thing I'm anxious to try because I've heard so many Americans, especially so many like Californians, talk it up.
California here.
Yeah, it's not that great. I'll be honest.
Shut up! They have not changed the prices in the next 50 years.
Wait, hot take right here. Hot take. I ate there twice at their main location. There's gonna be my hot take. So if anyone wants to flame me, go ahead and do it in the comments or hit me up on Twitter and Instagram or TikTok, whatever. I ate 2 other burgers. I ate one like I traditionally would eat a normal burger for myself, and I ate their their like signature burger.
menu?
Yeah, right. Their signature burger, the one that like that's what they're known for. I tried both. They were okay, subpar. I would have gave it like a 6 out of 10. It was okay. Nothing to grandiorize. But you know what? I think it might be time to work on a tier list on that shit. But that's
Let's be honest.
Tier list.
This is where Jesus is going to have about 100 ads on Twitter later on. That's what I'm telling you. It's just going to be blowing up. It's just like, what do you mean they're not rubbish?
Everyone literally is going like,
Bruh.
whatever.
They make their employees make good money. They haven't raised the prices. They're still very traditional. They're still very traditional. You still go into there, you hear the fries being slapped, and then straight into the fryer. That is a beautiful sound. And I love their burgers. Have you tried it mustard grilled?
I only tried 2 burgers. Remember, I literally said that. So don't flame me when I stated my statement. But anyway, that's my hot take. We're
gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go. Now they're lifting up mask mandates. Let's go.
Yes, we're getting there.
To be fair, my favourite American restaurant that I've tried that's come over, Five Guys, hands down. I am addicted.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You see, there you go. Thank you.
Guys.
I will
not go for Five Guys. I refuse.
Top tier burgers. Top tier.
There you go. James is on my corner right there. Thank you. Five Guys.
Okay. 2 guys against 1. I get it.
Okay, here's another one for you. I tried a UK. Quite a while ago, I travelled down to London, and I tried a Shake Shack. I was underwhelmed.
That one's good. I won't lie. I had that on my way back from... Where were we coming from?
Shake Shack.
When do we have Shake Shack? Oh, there's one in Beaverton. Jesus, just an FYI.
I know. I mean, I want to look
from
at
where?
Shake Shack?
You're coming from where? Oh, yeah, Vegas.
Okay. Shake Shack.
Yeah, it's really good. I enjoyed their burgers. That was really delicious too. I enjoyed that. And the shake. I guess Ursula would have to say if she liked the shakes or not.
Delicious.
I only tried one of the shakes, and compared to Five Guys, I feel it was lacking.
I don't know. I can't have dairy, so.
Five Guys, work off the wrist. Just letting you know. Just work the wrist.
It's good. It's good. It's top for me. Five Guys is top 5 of burger places. Not considering quote fast food places like.
If you guys ever get a chance to come to London, I have to plug. I'm not sponsored, but I have to plug it anyway. What's it called? When I went down to London, I visited a friend, and there's this burger place called Bleakers. It's called Bleakers, right? Yeah. They're so popular in London. They won Burger of London or Burger of the Year, I think 3 years in a row.
Oh wow.
They're that good. And they started as a food truck, I think, on the south bank of London, next to the London Eye. And then in a few short years,
like this making you hungry.
Yeah. And in a few short years, they've expanded all across London. And honestly, when I tried it, it was got to be one of the best burger experiences I've ever had in my life.
Okay. So I'm good to know. Maybe delaying my trip because the audience knows, and I'll let you know a little bit about pre-pandemic, like year 1, 2019. Me and one of my cousins were actually planning a big trip out to London. We were going to spend an entire week there, but pandemic happened and screwed up everything. So I'm kind of glad not getting to know that, because we are planning something once things are like finally kind of clearing up. I think it's going to be another year or so.
Tell me in. I have a lot of vacation time.
It's going to be a little bit more time, but my trips are finally going to be able where I can finally leave the country. But yeah, knowing this is adding to my list of to-dos when I'm in London or in that area.
Just to let you know, Bleakers isn't sort of like cheap. It's not Mackey's prices at all. It's just a quick conversion for you guys. I think a milkshake costs me about £5, sort of $7.50, I think, something like that.
That's
Okay,
normal.
that's normal here.
That's
normal here for us.
That's normal here.
A
Yeah,
decent place. If you're looking at like an expensive place, you're looking at $13, $14, $15, which is whatever here's in pounds.
It's like I think the conversion is about 1.25 or 1/2 of what we pay. But yeah, no, yeah, at a reasonable like place, it's gonna be on the higher end, unless you get like a McDonald's dollar burger shake, which will almost never happen because their machines are always broke down.
Obviously, depending on state, you guys got sales tax as well, but our sales tax is included in our price.
Oh, so it's not.
No,
like,
yeah, well, that's the same thing for Oregon. You have it all incorporated into Oregon because we don't technically have sales tax. It's already incorporated into the price of what we pay for things. So,
but our sales tax is like 20% in the UK.
Okay, that's like if you're going to like Chicago.
Well, it's already incorporated in the price, so you don't see it. So obviously, a dollar cheeseburger from McDonald's will be about £1 or $1 instead of $1 plus tax.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's like if you were going to another part of the states, like most every other state except for, I think we're like one other state besides us, Oregon, has sales tax. Don't have sales tax. It's already incorporated into the thing. So like if you go to like California, it's like an extra 15-20% of tax on top of whatever you're paying. So, and if you see it like, oh, plus tax. So
there you go. So talking about money and stuff, as recently everyone knows, due to the effects that are happening in the war with Russia and Ukraine, our prayers to the families and friends, as always. Kind of stepping away from that because it's kind of a little sad, but you know we still pray for them. The effects that has recently been taking effect now is kind of like expanding everywhere to everyone. More so to like not only foods. I don't know how it's affecting you, but also I would like to hear your take. What's happening for you guys on in your area? But like for us, for like foods and gas prices, they've just been skyrocketing.
I've actually got an interesting take on that. Some sort of like inside knowledge for you guys. So I've one of my dad's friends works for like an oil company.
Ooh,
and this is sort of like some sort of the reason why prices of gas and obviously petrol and diesel and everything like that are going up is because when oil companies buy oil or gas from Russia, they can sell it and they make 100% profit. But if they buy it from like a Saudi oil company or a different reserve, they only make 20% profit.
Oh, interesting.
So obviously, it's not the shortage of oil; it's obviously protecting profits.
Yeah.
As much as they can, obviously because they can't really buy from Russia because of all the economic sanctions that they've been going through.
And what's currently the prices in your area?
I think it's about £2 for petrol at the minute.
Let me see here. I gotta do you conversions.
Yeah, I've got it up. So I think it's the last time I checked, it was £2, so $2.61 American.
Fuck. I want to pay those prices. We're paying like $4+, almost $5 a gallon for gas, if not more.
That's $3.83 in English. In British pounds.
Okay, so here I got a list of the highest and lowest like today. As far as this day of recording, I got the highest and lowest in every state.
Is it for you? I've got a fun little game to play with everyone. Obviously, you can't play unless you quickly shut the tab down. Have a guess the highest and the lowest
in the world. In the world.
In the US. In the US.
Oh, I can't answer that because I kind of saw it this morning when I was looking it up. So Liz, you
take a guess.
I'm gonna take for gas in the U.S. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. So cheapest state and most expensive state.
I'm gonna go to the most expensive state, California, and the cheapest state, Texas.
Do you know what? That's on par with what I was thinking, actually. Very on par. Jesus, can you confirm or deny?
That is. See here. Give me a second. I just had the gas prices. That is on regular gas.
Good gas.
Well, so highest is California, sitting at $5.75, and that's
Oh no! I take that back because I saw one of my friends from Los Angeles, $6.95 or something like that for a
I'm sorry, is this for petrol or diesel? Or do you guys say
Yes.
it for?
I don't know.
Petrol.
Petrol.
So wait, I'm getting the conversion for you right now.
I've
$5.75.
got it up for you. It's $5.75. Did you say?
Yeah,
That's $4.41.
$4.41 for you.
But to be perfectly candid and honest, I live like quite in a cheap area. So £2 or $2.60 might be something like compared to the lowest state.
So what was the lowest state you said?
I want to say Texas or yeah, I'm gonna sit with Texas.
Okay. Actually, I'm looking at just I'm trying to find Texas at the moment. Give me a second. Texas is not. It's actually sitting at $4 even at the moment.
Really?
Yeah. The lowest state actually for petrol/gasoline is Kansas, sitting at $3.82.
That's more realistic what we're experiencing over there.
Yeah, that's kind of what our normal was a little bit ago. So just under
Yeah.
293 pounds. But yeah, it's that's kind of what normally was about 6 months ago. Yeah, about 6 months ago it was about that. That was our price in this area.
Mm.
And
Not gonna
yeah,
lie, if you guys are like sort of interested in any sort of like stock, could you imagine during the pandemic when no one was driving and the gas prices just were bare minimum? Could you imagine if you sort of like bought some oil futures or something? You'd be laughing right now. When you
I did. I did.
Wow.
I have a good chunk of money at the moment saving on the side, waiting for it to keep going up. The second it starts dipping, it's getting and paying back some people. But yeah, I'm just watching it grow and grow. As much as I hate because I recently put gas in my car and it was at half a tank, so I'm just gonna fill it today. I filled it and I paid the same amount as I would have if it was nearly empty, and it made me hurt inside.
Emotional damage.
No kidding.
It hurt me. But here's a funny. Okay, so kind of talking about all this gas. There's a news story in Notes about a gentleman. There's going to be our first news story of a guy who was trying to convert meth into gasoline. Yes.
As in the drug meth.
Yeah. So let's get into some of these news stories.
What the fuck?
All right. So, the gas prices must be high when a man blows up his house trying to convert meth to gasoline. Bakersfield, California, the rising cost gasoline has hit everyone hard. Some are joining carpools to save a buck. Others will ride their bicycles when they can. One man decided to try and turn his meth lab into a gasoline station by converting methamphetamines into gasoline. Tyler is a novice meth cook.
With no knowledge of chemistry.
He's a
Novice meth cook. I was like, if he was a master or a professional, he wouldn't have blown his own house, would he? It'll be successful. Shame he's just a novice. Shame.
Oh boy, Lord.
Okay, that was funny. Okay, continuing. Tyler is a novice meth cook with no knowledge of chemistry except for the recipe he found online message boards. He got the idea to turn his meth into gas while on a 7-day drug binge. Oh, like everyone has those ideas.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Have you guys ever had a drunken experience when you've gone to someone, we should buy a bar or we should move in together, in a completely drunken state? It's like this, but it's taken level by a novice meth cooker.
Like you just it's then you have the peak ideas when you're like either drunk or a little bit in the influence. You're like,
I don't think it was a little bit. I think it was a little bit more.
Come on.
It was like, I am the next level genius. I can make petrol out of meth. He must have felt like God or some sort of deity.
All right, let's continue with the story. Sometime during the night while Tyler was trying to deconstruct his meth into liquid form, an accident happened. Tyler did not account for the proper ventilation and noxious fumes built up. Bakersfield can be cold in the winter, and that night was especially chilly. The furnace clicked on the house and lit up like fireworks, according to one neighbor. The fire department was called in the scene almost immediately. Read more. Tyler was rescued by first responders and sent to the hospital for evaluation, where he subsequently arrested for terrorist actions leading to an explosion, creating and disturbing.
I feel like this is how Cards Against Humanity.
So terrorist actions leading to an explosion, creation and distribution of meth, and unlawful use of domicile for the creation of gasoline. Wait, that's a thing? Okay. And convicted on all charges, Grimes may spend up to 85 years in jail.
Well, he will have great health insurance, 3 square meals a day, and a nice bed to go to.
I did not know making gasoline can put you in jail. Interesting. Unlawful use of domicile for creation of gasoline.
Well, there was a very interesting story quite a few years ago in regards to this. It was people using vegetable oil in their cars. And
I heard something about that.
It seemed to work. It seemed to run quite smoothly. But I think the guy was arrested for it or something like that.
It's the way it's built. The way like traditional oils were acting up on those things. It was gunking up some of the stuff. It was working, but it wasn't. It didn't have some of the other chemicals they used to help like burn like the gunk. So it was building up, and it was not only destroying the car itself, but it was leaving residue in the area the car was driving. So that's kind of like, and that's why kind of like roads always have that, sometimes like oil slicks or little weird marks on the marks on the ground. That's just because of excess liquid, not only from people but from the vehicles. But the gunk that was coming out of the vegetable oil, I think it was like, it's vegetable corn oil. They were using specifically corn oil. It was just like leaving such a heavy residue, and not only that, it made the entire car smell like popcorn.
I don't know. Maybe make you sick.
At that point, you have to go. It's one of 3 options. Should we go to the movies? Should we be worried, or if we just enjoy this nice popcorn smelling ride?
Man, looking at the houses, guys.
Going into the movies theater smelling like popcorn and be like, what the fuck were you doing?
Ooh, man, people are getting desperate out there. Like, they're making their own gasoline. And
just started looking at electric vehicles. I'm like, so when are we getting one?
Just as a disclaimer to all the audience, please do not become a novice meth cooker and blow up your own house.
Yeah. Be
an
expert meth cooker, not a novice. That kind of sucks for him. But at least he'll learn. Maybe he'll meet that. He'll be an apprentice to someone he meets in the prison.
Making wine next in the toilet with meth.
Exactly. That's where you have to start. You gotta start.
Amazing moonshine.
You gotta start somewhere, right? Let's continue with some of these crazy stories. See here. I'll post another one in the chat. Where are you? Ooh, let's not go too crazy. Just we have a guest. Oh, let's talk about this one. I'm gonna copy and paste it. Notes. Wait, did I enter? There it goes.
So any sort of crazy story you want to throw at me, I'll definitely put a unique take on them if you like.
It's sounds good then, and we look forward to it. So, recently, a U.S. man got his first pig heart transplant, then passes away 2 months afterwards.
I saw that. Isn't that sad?
It is. You want to read this one?
Sure. Let me open it. Patient who received genetically modified pig heart and groundbreaking transplant surgery dies. 57-year-old Maryland man who has received a genetically modified pig heart is the first of its kind transplant surgery, has died, the University of Maryland Medical Center said Wednesday. David Bennett died on Tuesday after his condition began to deteriorate several days ago, the medical center said. He was given palliative care and was able to communicate with his family during his final hours, according to news release. We are devastated by the loss of Mr. Bennett. He proved to be a brave and noble patient who fought all the way to the end. We send our sincerest condolences to his family. Dr. Bertley P. Griffith, the surgeon who transplanted the pig heart at the University of Maryland Medical Center, said in a statement, Mr. Bennett became known by millions of people around the world for his courage and steadfast will to live. Bennett had terminal heart disease and had received a transplant on January 7. Bennett was deemed ineligible for conventional heart transplant, an artificial heart pump, after reviews of his medical records. The pig heart was the only available option, the medical center said at the time. Vicor, a regenerative medicine company based in Virginia, had provided the heart. Genes that are responsible for rejection of pig organs by human immune systems were removed from the donor pig, and one gene was taken out to prevent excessive pig heart tissue growth. 6 human genes responsible for immune system acceptance were inserted. The medical center said they transplanted a heart and performed well for several weeks without any sign of rejection. Very much hopeful. It's hopeful.
You know, it's one of those things like where kind of like we're getting that weird mad scientist kind of area of medical stuff, where you're kind of this man, from what it sounds like, he had a history of heart problems, and he could no longer get a heart transplant, or wasn't able to be on that list, to the point where he took a risk and decided to be part of this experimental animal transplant, basically. And you know, someone has to do it. I don't think I would. I think I would have accepted my fate, but this man took it, and the medical history of the world knows a little bit more on some of these things, because for sure, it's one of those things. I think they say like pigs are one of the closest things next to bananas genetically to us. But it's interesting to see that, because it's looked down upon a lot when like experimenting in that type of field. This very experimental. I would literally consider it like mad scientist Frankenstein level stuff, but sometimes it has to be done to kind of achieve some of these things. Mostly when you're like, it's your last resort, you know.
It's all about that sort of mindset you have as human. Obviously, we're built to survive and try to survive through anything we can, which is actually crazy. And also, if that experiment worked, that would have been a massive leap forward for science, like heart failure and everything like that. And if we could actually do successful heart transplants on pigs, that would have been a major breakthrough for scientists. So unfortunately, it didn't work out for this particular patient, but as you said, it's another step closer to a possible scientific breakthrough.
I agree. I mean, I'm an organ donor, so I eventually would like to donate my organs if at all possible at the end of my life. There's such a shortage for human organs as it is for patients to get them nowadays. So, I mean, if there was an alternative, because obviously there's a lot of people who do not want to donate their organs, which is understandable.
This is why you steal them.
Black market.
Black market prices be crazy.
Those are skyrocketing as well at the moment. Okay.
Really?
Whoa! What are you looking into for the black market? Is this the truth?
Segue into the black market section.
You need a kidney? I got one.
Those transports costs aren't cheap either. They just keep getting expensive. Anyways,
yeah. Do you know something quite interesting though? I think someone tallied up, if we could sell every part of a living human, it'll be over $2 million. Really interesting.
Legally, yes. You can get a lot more.
If you could sell a human for parts, yes. I think the human's value just over $2 million, which is quite interesting.
A healthy human. I don't know about some certain people. I'll be honest.
I've actually got some stories, if you don't mind me just reading some off.
Go for it.
Sweet. Yeah, so I actually stumbled upon this article the other day. I can't find it again, unfortunately, but it read something about the struggle Ukraine. They're hiring people to come over I think they get paid $1,000 a day to fight in the war.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
I think that's what along the lines of what I read. They're offering $1,000 a day if you go fight for Ukraine.
I think we briefly mentioned a little bit talking about some of the people who are trying to volunteer, at least from the States, and I know some other countries are also a lot of. They're like, I think, yeah, we talked about the quote freedom fighters that are trying to volunteer, and that's great if that is true, and they're actually putting some actual financial backing to it. That's even more incentive for someone to not only fight.
Do you know what is quite crazy though when you mention countries? Do you know, obviously Switzerland is a country, a famous country for its neutrality and for being extremely neutral throughout all world conflicts. They've actually come out and they said they're backing Ukraine. A country that's been neutral forever. Even in the height of the world wars, they stayed neutral.
I remember hearing that. Yeah.
And now they're coming out as pro-Ukraine.
Oh,
Another interesting development on that. Do you know the soccer team Chelsea?
I know of them. Yes.
It's a big club in London. They might have to go into administration soon because their owner is a Russian oligarch. Yeah, Roman Abramovich.
Oh wow!
And all of his UK assets, and not sure of his American assets as well, have been frozen by the UK government.
Oh, that's
their monthly wages come up to about £30 million.
Whoa.
That's a good chunk of money.
For the Chelsea players' wages and everything like that, they only have about 14 to 18 million in cash reserves.
What?
So you can see one
$24. You want $24 for fucking blue?
Shit.
So soon, one of the biggest clubs in the world could go into administration.
That's some big news, man. Because No, that's a lot. That's interesting to know. Like here, because you can only get so much news, and sometimes it's always localized. Hearing more news from outside that's crazy to hear that, because that's another impact. Because like we mentioned before, not only is it affecting like the country in general, it's affecting the people inside the country and outside the country.
And I know you mentioned the food shortages as well, because I think someone said a lot of wheat production or a lot of food production comes from Russia and Ukraine to supply third world countries such as like Egypt and most of Africa, I think, as well. So obviously there's adverse effect on those people. So it's obviously the fighting's localized to Ukraine. Obviously they're trying to take the capital of Kyiv, but it's already affecting third world countries who rely on that cheap source of food.
Yeah, the source. Oh my god. Yep. It's once again, it's another domino that just tips over. And at the end, it's gonna. Even though it's been what, 3 weeks now? Like the official attacks, 3 weeks. It's been happening for a lot longer with the thing, but it's been roughly about like officially 3 weeks. But like 3 weeks of fighting is gonna be like years of recovery, sadly.
Yeah, that's true.
It is indeed, yeah. It's really, really interesting though, because I think in their 2-week evaluation of the invasion, the Russians missed all of their targets.
Oh yeah, I think
they missed all their targets. Wow, they're really
obviously for how much land they wanted to conquer and how much ground they wanted to cover, they missed all of their targets.
Yep, and talking kind of, we brought this up before, like all the assassination attempts on their leader, or the Ukraine leader. Yeah, as up to today, at this far recording, there's been estimated to be 3 dozen assassination attempts, all failed. So 3 dozen, you know. Either they're not doing their job, or they're just slacking on that. Really good.
I know the Russian currency is like really low. If they're paying the assassins in Russian currency, I'm not surprised. That $3.
The ruble like really like half a penny now.
Who are you hiring? Do you know they're hiring? They're having that Novice Meth cooker from America. They're building trying to assassinate the president, and they're paying him in Russian rubles. That's who they're getting to assassinate the president right now. It must be.
It has to be. Oh yeah. But yeah. Oh wow, crazy. All right. Let's see what else is happening in the world.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
a lot of like the world news at the minute is about Ukraine.
true. So let's
Um,
here I found I found another story that's a little bit spicy. Someone, you get caught, and you got to be careful where you place your video or what video is being captured.
I know, right? Which one are we talking about? There's a couple.
It's in notes. I put it in notes.
do I have the notes? Oh, I do. I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, okay. I thought it was that one.
So, a Wahoo police chief resigned after a body cam showed him having sex, sources say. So, reading that title is like, okay, what does that mean? So, the former Wahoo police chief, Bruce, abruptly resigned in November, so this is back in November, was caught having sex with a Wahoo resident. I just like the city name Wahoo.
Wahoo!
It sounds like an achievement when you get on Sims or something.
I hope the sex was wahoo!
Okay, so the way he was caught, according to the sources, his body cam was recording. Now, Farrell, who became Wahoo police chief after retiring from Omaha Police Department and under investigation by Nebraska State Police Patrol, sources say, asked a series of questions Fridays, including why he resigned, whether he attempted to have the body cam footage deleted, and he said, quote, I am not going to comment, end quote. Yeah, that's probably right. He gave the same response when asked by his attorney. Let's see. Farrell abruptly resigned November 11 without giving notice. In an interview less than a week later, he told the Lincoln Journal State that it's just time, nothing nefarious. Farrell told the Lincoln paper, no smokes, no mirrors, nothing at all. Turns out there was a mirror. The body cam footage showed Farrell partially clothed in a Wahoo police uniform, having sex with a woman who had called police about an estranged boyfriend. Oh,
Damn.
I'm sorry, I've already got comments about this story. Like, I'm just like making mental notes right now. I'm ready to work on this story.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see. The patrol investigation is looking into whether the woman consented to sexual activities or felt that she had the choice of whether she could consent. One of the sources says the woman has suggested that sex with Farrell was consensual. Nebraska State Police spokesman Cody Thomas confirmed that the investigation of Farrell is ongoing, but declined to specify the nature of the investigation. He said the results will okay, whatever about that information. Other states have laws that make it illegal for an officer to have sex with a person while on duty, regardless of consent. To here, the closet thing. Nebraska have no such law. Oh, the closet, whatever. It's in the closet. It's in the closet. The mirror was in the closet. See here. The closest thing Nebraska has to such a law is that the statute that makes it a felony for a jailer or a prison guard to have sex with an inmate. Trying to see if there's any more useful information in here. Prison banned, other states banned sex on duty. Nebraska prosecutor charged for first-degree sexual assault back in 2005. A case in Omaha. Police officer was convicted on first-degree sexual assault after he made a prostitute perform oral sex on him in his cruiser.
So this office is known for very nefarious, spicy activities.
Yeah.
Why go to jury? This is the point I want to make, right? This guy must have some very weird kinks to keep re-offending while on duty. He must like it while he's on duty. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So I'm kind of keep looking, just scrolling to see if there's anything else.
It brings a whole new meaning to serve and protect.
Yes.
Literally. Did you bring protection?
Yeah, it's to serve and protect the cops, apparently. But yeah, so the basis of the story is that he denied to have sexual relations with a person who called in to a call, basically, and then so there's a mirror that caught him, and he got caught. And
so he got caught in 4K by the body camera and by himself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Double whammy. Double whammy.
Bruh.
So yeah, it's pretty fucked up right there. It's pretty messed up that
Yeah, that is. He's not like really an attractive like looking cop. No offense. He's a big boy.
hey man, that's why he has to throw away his weight with his
Throw
power.
his weight.
There's nothing really else in this information. They're just listing some other stuff that happened with some of the other people in the area. Apparently, this city's pretty fucked, actually.
Yeah,
I've got
I
quite
saw.
a
I
funny
was reading it.
note. Sorry, I've got quite a funny note to add about body cams
for
and microphones and stuff like that.
Go for
So
it.
I used to do theatre. I used to be like quite big in performing arts and drama, and we always got told make sure you take your cam off before you go to the toilet. One person didn't. It was a dress rehearsal, and they had to run off, and all we heard over the mic was,
Still on.
"Yes, still on."
Oh God.
We all sat and went, "So, eventful trip to the loo?"
For extra spiciness.
So remember, everyone, if you're performing in a play or if you're a police officer with a body camera, please switch it off before doing anything you shouldn't be doing.
Oh shit! God.
Take it off. Put it 1,000 feet away from you.
Or just cover
Yeah, lock it in a drawer, shut it off, turn it off.
it. Okay. There you go.
I said I'm
Oh,
poop
my
drawer.
Ooh. All right then. Is there any other news story everyone wants to talk about before we kind of close this episode off? I'm trying to see if there's anything interesting.
I think there was one from. I have to close it down. It's probably a second. Let's get that back up for you guys. There's one about a UK thing.
Go. Post it in chat. Post it in the. Put it in the notes, and we'll open it up. Okay.
Okay.
We'll let you read this one.
It's all you, James. Take it
yeah,
away.
Sure. Go for it. Yeah, so it's just about the story. Boris Johnson visits Saudi Arabia to talk about the price of oil as the United Kingdom announces. So from what I can just see here, like Boris Johnson's postponed travel to Saudi Arabia next week for oil talks as he attempts to move the UK away from dependence on energy supply from Russia. Although Downing Street insists the trip is not finalised or confirmed, the Prime Minister is facing calls from Tory MPs, which is obviously the opposition, to sort of urge the Saudis to release more oil, obviously trying to curb that price of gasoline or the price of petrol down. The potential trip has emerged as fuel prices pumped from £1.60 a litre to £1.70. And obviously I think this is a few weeks old now, this article here. No, it's 12. It got released today. I do apologise. It got released today. Yeah. So obviously, our Prime Minister's under enough fire for what happened over Christmas. I don't know if you guys got any news over there.
I think we talked about that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's trying to be on like a little bit of a recovering PR mission at the minute. So
hey, you got to do what you got to do, but hey, you gotta try a little harder. Apparently, damn, that sounds sucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've actually got a quite interesting story that I stumbled across as well about obviously you guys know that inflation keeps rising every year. I think the past few years, due to the pandemic and obviously the gross national product not being that high, due to workforce and industry shutting down due to COVID and stuff like that, and obviously restrictions with working, that the inflation rate is just stupidly high at the minute. So apparently, all around the world, there's new digital currencies coming out, but these are not decentralized. These are still controlled by the governments. But it's a nice little way to flicker from paper money into the new Web3, the new digital assets
I think
that everyone's talking about. But the whole point with crypto and stuff like that was like sort of disturb the banks and to obviously not be centralized, to be decentralized, not controlled by anyone. But also they're taking it and going, this is how we can sort of like curve the inflation rate a little bit.
I think one of my buddies is a big he's big into this space and he has a way better understanding and he brought this up, but I have the centralized ones that are coming up a little bit more. Mostly actually recently it's a I could pull up the news story, but it's not really like big hullabaloo, but there, as far as the states are concerned, they are now putting more regulations and sanctions on crypto starting this 2022. So
Yeah,
before,
same with the UK. There, it's like I think crypto gets taxed 4 or 5 different ways in the UK.
oh, okay, we weren't getting taxed at all until
Really?
until 2021. There was like a small one that had like probably like a few little things, but they recently post for this year a bunch of stuff. So that's getting like heavily so I can't hide my 7 Bored Apes worth $30,000 anymore. So
I'm guessing President Biden's not a big fan of the crypto space. I feel like Trump.
I don't know if he knows. I don't know if he knows. I don't know if he's there mentally, but hey, whatever.
It's a different.
I could see Trump being big into the NFTs. I really could. I could see it. I could see Trump being big at NFTs.
Oh yeah,
he would have he would have the ducks and stuff. But yeah, we can have a huge discussion we're talking about web. I think it's web 3.0 or 4.0, 3.0. Yeah, it's the new wave of stuff's gonna be coming out. But I think that one's a very long discussion, and we can do that for another day. But moving into this new generation of stuff is going to be interesting. But yeah, it's let's hope that for those of you who have crypto and all those just like digital currencies, how have you been managing your wallets properly? Because I know people have sometimes they have crazy wallets. Like I have 2 wallets and that's it. And that's just because I needed one for NFTs when they were starting, and I only have one NFT, and I kind of left the rest of my Ethereum over there. And then I have just my traditional wallet where I trade and sell stuff. But I know people with up to 5 wallets that use it to just transfer stuff.
I've got an interesting sort of input on that. I've got about, I think, 3 wallets myself. Okay. I was trying to get into the NFT game, but unfortunately, I was got into one of the rug pull ones. Unfortunately,
rough.
But man, it was not like a rug pull in the traditional sense, as they minted it and then went by. It was really weird. It was the Dragon Rich Club. Have you guys heard about that one?
I did not know that one.
Emotional damage.
But I feel you.
I think, but when I brought into it, it was like when Ethereum wasn't at its high. But I think I wasted about $800.
Ooh, that's a good. That is something. That is a good. So, but yeah, listeners, for those who have crypto, try to just, manage your wallets and make sure you know everything that's happening with them. And those who are interested, for beginners, I would just say probably just stick to one at the moment, and then educate yourself in that, because we are not financial advisors, so remember that.
Yeah, we're not financial advisors, but I do reckon you need more than one, because also you've got whatever your brokerage card is, if it be crypto.com, if it be Binance or any others. And then you've got, obviously, I think you need a MetaMask as well if you do want to get into NFT space.
Yes, that's the one where I have my ship. So yeah, if you're delving into kind of the other 3.0 stuff that is happening, you might need more than one if you're gonna go into the digital currency spaces.
Like the virtual real estate and stuff like that. Probably, I'm not sure if they do it at MetaMask, but
hey, go for it.
Sorry, the thing that always burnt me was the gas prices. It was just basically a free way to burn money. Because gas prices for Ethereum, which is basically like the transaction cost. Yeah. Sort of like in-house tax, if you want to think about it that way. It was so stupidly high. I think it was I wanted to sell something for about $250, and they wanted $100 in this sort of gas tax. Yeah, So I would have made zero profits. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna sell it.
Done. I'm done. I'm done. Like, you know what? I'm gonna walk out of the store. All right. So we're gonna be closing off this one. We're gonna close it off as we always do. We're gonna be doing an article of "Am I the Asshole?" So I'm gonna roll the dice and see which of the top 6 stories we're gonna get today. And today we get to see the third one of the week. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, another one. We always get some of these. Here we go. I'm gonna post it in the notes. Let's see here. Come on, post. There we
I
go.
love a bit of Reddit. I love Reddit.
Alright.
There's actually quite a funny subreddit before we move on to this. About university or college confessions, where it's like university students confess to really dark things they've done, but it's a completely anonymous. And honestly, some of this stuff does get fucked up.
Oh, I bet.
When I say messed up, I mean extremely.
Ooh, we might need to do a segment just for that for another day.
I'll join. Sign me up.
Okay.
Maybe it's something we can look into for the future, guys.
Okay, so let's talk about today's article that was chosen. Am I the asshole for uninviting my cousin, my brother, uncle, and dad to my wedding over a prank?
Wow.
I thought about the prank was.
Me too. Well, she's probably going to get into it.
So, I, female 22, grew up in a family where men pranked and teased each other. Ever since my fiance, 23, and I got engaged. My cousin, my brother, dad, and uncle joked about running some tests to see what type of man he is. They've done stuff like forcing him to play chess 4 times in Raw, secretly slash his tires. Holy shit!
Damn.
Tires to see if he can fix it himself like a man or get help like those lazy guys. They ask him questions like what joke he'd like to tell in his future, tell his future mother-in-law, his opinions on abortion. Is that a prank? Okay, his opinion on abortion, Jesus, gender equality, etc. I don't know if that's a prank, but sure. They also tested his fishing and hunting skills, overwhelmed him with the hypocritical scenarios.
Hypothetical.
It can be hypocritical too at this point. From the way they're treating him, to test his decision-making and ability and mental strength. They kept calling him slow and soft, but he has a medical condition. What is that? Asthma? Oh, asthma. I don't know why that took forever to read. But they think he's making excuses. I demanded they stop, but my dad said that this is just typical men challenge each other with, and said that I was ruining the fun. Last week, they told him on the 3-day trip that that he hid his inhaler and left them and returned in 7 hours and told me that I was seething after they admitted to hiding his as a challenge. I exploded on them when they returned. Cousin asked if little Timmy ran to me to tattle. I yelled at all 4 of them and are uninvited to my wedding. My brother freaked out, saying it was a prank. They were going to give it back, and Dad said they'll apologize if they insist, but he will have lost the little respect that he gained from him, and that their eyes will always be soft college kids who are not up for the challenge. I called him and the others awful and then left. My cousin is begging that we talk. My uncle has been quiet, and my dad is so mad that he's getting mom involved to get me to reconsider the decision, but I keep refusing to reinvite them. Mom is saying that I'm exaggerating and should let bygones be bygones and not let this ruin my relationship with my family. Am I the asshole for making it my hill to die on, or am I exaggerating? Okay, let's let our guest host speak first.
Thanks. Like again, I've been making many mental notes for this. Am I the asshole? Like I don't think you are. I think especially I've been personally when I've been meeting like ex-girlfriends' fathers and stuff like that. I understand a little bit of the hazing, a little bit of the messing around, but I reckon this takes it too far. I reckon from what has been said, it's such toxic masculinity. No. It really is, just because, it's like lazy guys and stuff like that, or running around with his hair. That is a medical. He could pass out, possibly die from that.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
that is so dangerous. That's not a challenge, as it says in the article. That is potentially life-threatening. And honestly, if this woman loves this man that much, that maybe she's not the quality she's looking for. Maybe she doesn't want a person that's, 6'6", proper stacked with muscle, or like a manly man, as people call them. Because obviously everyone has their own definition of like true love, and obviously their own definition of love and how that comes across. But honestly, no, you're not the arsehole. I reckon to move forward, you kind of have to keep a close eye on obviously the men, which is a horrible thing to say anyway.
No, I'm just saying, cut them out of your life. Done. You're done.
I know, right?
No, I reckon since they're such a big part of their life, I reckon they should find a way of compromise and move forward. But honestly, that's
pretty
disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting the way they treated him, to be honest.
Oh, no, yeah, go for it. Let's see. I know you had something on your mind here.
Like almost attempted murder. I've had my mom's best friend since like 7th grade. Her husband went out on a hunting trip, didn't have his asthma inhaler. He died from not having his inhaler. So the fact that, for me, it's more of a personal thing. Like if somebody had taken that person's inhaler and, it's playing with lying. No, even though it's a prank, quote unquote, I don't think that was a safe one, because if that person had died, there would have been potential for like life-saving issues. Manslaughter, yeah. Thank you. Attempted manslaughter. And that's exactly what was my mind. It was attempted murder. Or like almost on the verge of like committing a crime. And I guess from her perspective, I could see it. Like, you're playing with his life. That's my fiance. That's my love of my life. Why the fuck are you testing Waters about his inhaler? That's not cool.
It's not their position to test if he's fit. Like, it's not the 1800s. It's not, or even the 1950s, because I know that was obviously a big turning point, especially if like women's sort of like rights can be able to do their own thing. But honestly, no man should be acting like that. Honestly.
No, I agree.
There's a point where you kind of do when doing stuff like bringing someone else into someone else's family. There's little things to kind of quote test someone, like are they able to be part of the family to an extent. But the way they were the way they were quote testing him, it was more like interrogation torture status, like full Guantanamo. And like no one deserved that. I know when my now brother-in-law, we didn't like mess with him, but we toyed with him here and there. More so my actual sister, his wife, messed with him more than we did. But to the point where like you do certain things to kind of feel out another person's like just personality, their persona. Because one, they're entering your family, and that's what you want. You want to become part of their family. And it sounds, here's the thing. It sounded like he was willing to suffer through all this for her. And
I think it's great because he was willing to put up with that shit. But there's got to be a point where you draw the line. Yeah, where's the line?
To be fair, that's not a great way to start a family relationship, obviously, because the marriage is still going forward. And can you imagine how unwelcome now he feels?
I said,
to that family, like Christmas, Thanksgiving for you guys, and obviously New Year's are going to be extremely awkward trying to be around each other.
Yeah, that's why I say just cut them from the family. Just be done with them. Like have them for just the holidays, and that's kind of it. Like there's not so much. I don't know how for you, James, but for me, we like I have an extremely extended family, so for the most part, we have like core family members, but then that's about it. I see my extended family here and there, but that's about it. But yeah, that's kind of really it. It's just like when something happens in our families, like kind of like this extreme, it's never gone. There's probably something near this, but like I wouldn't know because of just how big my family is. But normally they would just be like gone. Like we like quote excommunicated family members that we like.
Disowning them.
Yeah, basically, yeah, we disowned a lot of family members. I know a few cousins and uncles and aunts that we don't talk to anymore. They're just not part of our family anymore.
I think there's only one person in my family that's actually disowned from the whole family. And shockingly, it's my nana's mum.
Oh, real? Why?
Interesting.
for legal reasons, I can't disclose it, unfortunately. But it's not a nice situation to be.
No, it's
perfectly honest.
We can talk after the cameras are over.
No, anyways, especially just to wrap the story up. Personally, I've got a small family, and unless they do something extreme, I know this is pretty extreme, but I'm talking like taking it even further. I would disown them fully, but I reckon this is like sort of a last chance to try to come to some sort of compromise, especially. Because if it's such a big part of your family, obviously this woman's uncle, brother, like big role models and big people in her life, I reckon there should be some compromise there.
Exactly. Wow. So that's kind of so we've all agreed that she's not the asshole. I wish her doesn't even sound like even her mom's on her side either. It's like
it's just sad.
It's one of those things where you want other people to be on your side. And it sounds just like it's just her and her husband. Maybe his side of the family too. But she does not actually. Reading the article, was there an update or anything in there?
No, I didn't see an update.
Okay.
No, I did just quick scroll down, and then everyone in the chat has just agreed with our points there.
Yeah, it's about right. It's like slashing someone's tire is not a prank. That's expensive. Okay.
It is very expensive.
Like
that. No. Do you know how? I can't believe I'm going to say this. Do you know how it could have been even more of an arsehole? In the UK, if you get 3 tires slashed, you cannot claim on insurance. If it's all 4, you can.
I think in the States it's the same thing. Yeah.
Similar, yeah. I felt like that is too.
Yep. So you have to you got to slash your 4th tire yourself.
Yeah. Just like, it was them. Oh, shame. It's like, cool. We've got the RAC. I know what your guys' breakdown cover is in the US, but.
Oh man, but yeah, I think we've all agreed that these 4 individuals are the assholes. She is not. She deserves a little bit more. I think her new family, her husband and her, deserves a little bit more. Like, hey, like this is our family. Like, either be part of it or just stay away. Okay, we're gonna close it off today like that. I think we forgot to mention, as always, on the top of the hour, since we did have a fun new co-host with us today. James, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure, and I look forward to your full attention out in Reaction Cast as we talk movies and films over there, or movies and television series. But audience members, if you made it this far, don't forget that you can always join us on our Discord down below. You can chat with us there, and you can get our merch at merch.tyrantdominus.com, and you can always leave us a voicemail for us to listen at, what is the phone number again?
9-373-7515,
and that number again is
971-373-7515.
Yes, you can leave us a voice message and we'll listen to it while we record and let you know our thoughts. You guys, Liz, James, thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much. It's been great. Thank you.
So, until next time, see ya. Bye.